Good morning, Metal family. Good to see you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Merry Christmas. It's um it's the most wonderful time of the year, like the song says. And I hope you're having a great day. And thank you for taking a little time out of your Christmas day to join me. Got a great show today. Some of our old and new friends are here, mostly old. I know. We've got some guys here that go back 40 years with us to the beginning of Sanctuary. And as many of you know, this next year, 2025, will be our 40th anniversary with Sanctuary. And you say, Pastor Bob, how can that be? You don't look a day over 29. And I know. It's these rugged good looks that just carry me on. Yeah. So sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse, but it's something I got to live with. Just saying. So, folks, if you're just joining us, you know the drill. Would you let us know where you're watching from? Love to see who's online, love to see who's watching. We have great friends from all over the world that are part of this great family. We are metal, we are family. Joel is here. He said it's been really boiling hot Christmas yesterday and today. It's going to be worse. It's going to be a hot summer. Joel, you're in Australia, correct? I think so. And it is summer there. So that's, yeah, it gets a little warm there about this time of the year. Mylan is here from Akron, Ohio. We're going to be back in Ohio. The Sanctuary 40th anniversary is the last weekend of July this year in right outside of Cincinnati. And I hope, folks, that many of you can join us. I'll be hosting that Immortal Fest, and we're going to celebrate our 40th. And then I'll be hosting the second Immortal Fest. That's the first week of September. So great time this summer. For those of you internationally, I will be in Sweden and Denmark and Switzerland in March, speaking at 3 festivals. I'll be a Loud and Proud Festival in September in Germany, and I'll announce more from there. But looking forward to seeing all of our international friends and all of our USA friends as well. Once again, folks, if you're just joining us, let us know where you're watching from. Love to be able to have the opportunity to say hello to you. Our good friend AV is here. He says Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. And AV, it's always good to see you. Good friend Barry is it also a very, very good friend. And he says, good morning to all of us and the Sanctuary family. Merry Christmas from West Virginia. And Barry, it's always good to see you. Thanks for being so faithful. And he's here every time, and we appreciate that very much. Well, I want to bring one of my good friends on with me. Jim Laverty has been in ministry with me since the very beginning. He's our illustrious worship leader also here at Sanctuary. There he is. Good morning, Jimbo.
Good morning to you, Pastor Bob.
Now, Jim, you're in snowy country today.
The Great White North, Michigan, and celebrating Christmas up here.
Yeah, in Michigan.
In Michigan.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you have a white Christmas. We have 60 degrees.
It's 60 degrees at home?
Going to be 60 here today. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is,
See?
something's not quite right about that.
I know.
Yeah.
So Forrest is here from Lansing, Michigan. I don't know how
Mhm.
far you are from Lansing, but you guys are in the same state right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Bobby Flatt is here from Austin, Texas. So Jim, we've been having a great time on Sunday mornings. Um, we've you and the worship team have done a great job in bringing worship, and we have Socratic discussion. And Sunday we did a lot of Christmas songs, which was really fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we did I'm actually fixing to put together a video of Jingle Bell Rock with a bunch of pictures and everything in it. Hopefully, I
Oh,
can finish
cool.
it by today. So, yeah, it was just a wonderful time, and it's just been an awesome pleasure just being able to, to bring the worship experience to the folks at Sanctuary all throughout all these years, and
Yes.
it's a vital part of our walk with the Lord, and it's something that we will all be doing for an eternity,
Yeah.
and so this is
Good
just the
practice.
warm up.
Yeah.
So,
We're practicing.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I want to bring Todd Bow on also. Todd has also been with us for a long time, since the very beginning. Good morning, Todd. Uh-oh, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Is that
You're
better?
there you go. There you go.
All right. Good morning and Merry Christmas.
Yes. So Todd, what's happening at the Bow House today? You guys celebrate
Well,
Christmas?
yeah. So a couple of our boys will be coming over this morning, and I am the cook this morning. So as soon as we're done here, I am off and running and making some breakfast for everyone. And
Cool.
then we've already made we do like a chicken dinner for dinner on Christmas,
Nice.
and very low key on food and stuff like that later on. But it's yeah, we've got a couple guests coming over as well. So. But
Great.
for breakfast, it's me.
Well, there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys, we've got a, um, a lot of things coming up. Um, this next Sunday, of course, as we do every Sunday, we're meeting for Sanctuary Church. Church means the body of Christ. People get together and we do good Socratic discussion and good worship and just a great time hanging out with everyone. The following week is our gathering weekend, and you don't want to miss that. And if you are in the Nashville area, or if you can be in the Nashville area, January 3rd and January 4th, we'll be meeting together. There's a picture of the storehouse where we meet, and just such a great time together. And we've got a lot of exciting things happening that day, jam-packed day with a lot of things going on.
Mm.
And so Saturday and Sunday that following week, we want to make sure that people are able to join us for that gathering. Todd, talk about classes that we have coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. January 9th, we are launching the Sanctuary Discipleship Academy. And that's for the folks who are local here. Starts on January 9th. And then January 14th, we'll start our Zoom classes. So if you're not local here or anything like that, and you're out and about, you want to take a Zoom class. The Zoom class is a limited amount of people, though. We can only take in for those classes up to 25 people. So those are limited. I think we've got 13 right now since we've launched it a couple of days ago. So I would expect probably by the first of the year we'll have the class full. Um, and yeah, pretty exciting. And the classes, some of these classes, I mean, are on the normal classes you would see, but some of them may not be. I mean, you see spiritual gifts, of course, on there, character studies, but mental health and addictions, you don't normally see that in a discipleship class, or marriage and family roles, those kind of things. Christian thought. Those are all classes that, as a staff, we felt were really important to bring to the body of Christ, and how that formulates and comes together
Yes,
in a discipleship role. So, pretty awesome. All of us instructors, teachers are very, very excited about this. Very excited.
yes, very excited for it. And folks, once again, if you'd like to take the classes in person, get involved with the Socratic discussion with each one of them, you can sure do that. And if you're not in the area, the Zoom classes would be a great way to go. So I also want to announce that next week, um, I'm going to do a special show. And this is something I haven't talked about yet, but I'm about to. And Chris from Chris Cooking Nashville will be with me. And both of us are going to talk about our journey back to health. And I want to talk about, I think we've both lost 140 pounds so far and still have a little ways to go. But I haven't talked about this yet, but I want to talk about my journey back to health from cancer, diabetes, arthritis, et cetera, et cetera. I'll tell the stories. And I want to give you a Pastor Bob's 90-day challenge and tell you what you can do to do the same thing. And, you know, it's, some people say, well, that doesn't sound very spiritual, but it really is. We're supposed to take care of what God has given us. And I really want to share what I've learned, because it's part of my responsibility as a father in this movement to make sure that you're physically healthy. And as you guys know, physical health and mental health go together. And both are really important. So that's next week as we share. And folks, as always, drinking a little Headbangers Brew today. It's our Vinter blend. Vinter. Yeah. And yeah, Brewed Awakening. And Todd, we've had good coffee sales, which really helps us, doesn't it? You want to talk about
Really
where
does.
they both do?
Yeah, coffee sales are doing really well. They help us out greatly. We've increased our sales in the 5-pound bag area. I mean, people have gone from, you know, the small bag that you're holding up to the 5-pound bag. And
Yes.
so, yeah, it's just so they've retired the small bag and went on to the big bag.
I think that's
So
awesome. And folks, it's one addiction that we encourage it. Yeah. Coffee
yeah,
addiction. Yeah. It's an important thing. Well, we've got some great people to bring on, and some faces from the past and present, and people that you recognize that are still involved. And, you know, one of the greatest joys of my life is continuing to work with people that I've worked with for decades. These two guys here have been a long time. Todd, we're at 43 years.
yes,
Yeah. Jim, you and I,
43 years.
40 years. And, you know, some of the guys that are coming on with us, just about the same length of time. So we've got all that coming up, and I can't wait for you to hear from them and see them. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
Anybody want coffee?
And once again, thank you for joining us on our Christmas Day special, Sanctuary Family. We are metal, we are family, and we are glad that you're here with us today. So, one of our dearest couples that have been with us since the very beginning, they met each other at Sanctuary, and they have been part of the worship team for a million years and still are. And not that they're old, but they've been here 40 years. And Glenn and Sherry Mancaruso.
Aw,
Morning.
Merry
Yay.
Christmas.
hey, guys.
Hey.
Sorry, Jim. Sauce is all gone.
You didn't, I was going to pay you.
Yeah,
Not enough,
it's all
buddy, not
gone.
enough.
It's all gone. Sorry.
I could smell it from
I'll
Michigan.
make some more for
We
you.
got
though.
more. We'll
Oh,
make-
man. Just by the way, Glenn makes the best pasta sauce, meat sauce. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's an Italian thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
lived on it for like a week
Yeah.
after Joey and Crystal got married. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It was so good. What a treat.
That's awesome.
I had it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner one day.
So, how are you guys doing? Did you have a good Christmas?
We
Very tired.
very tired. We didn't go to bed till 2 in the morning. We're too old for that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It was good.
we had a house full of people last night. So
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, I started cooking about 9
9.
in the morning yesterday, and really didn't get finished until last
Mm.
night. So just cooking all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
All
It's
night.
clean in there now.
Are you resting today then?
Yeah,
Good. There you go.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm getting ready to cook. What are you talking
Well,
about?
yeah, I was gonna cook. I cooked yesterday.
I cooked today.
So, we have a lot of old pictures. And John, just feel free to roll any of them that look appropriate. But you guys, all of us have been here for a while, over 40 years now, or 40 years.
Yep.
Glenn and Sherry met at Sanctuary. Sherry was the Sanctuary, well, I guess we would call it secretary. She kind of kept us going. Yeah.
Kind of.
And Glenn, of course, was on the worship team and the drummer for Vengeance. Vengeance.
Beans.
Yeah. So here we are, 40 years later, still doing worship, still doing, just some great stuff. We had a good time on Sunday, which was awesome. And oh, look at there. There's some people. Look,
Oh, me
there.
and Sherry.
Oh,
Oh, my
Oh my
God.
gosh, I have never seen that picture.
I haven't either.
that I know where that's at. That was
That was
at
at the car wash.
the
wasn't
car.
it?
Yes, the
Ramon.
car wash.
It's the Ramon.
Oh,
Yeah.
look,
At the
that's
car
cool.
wash.
Yeah,
the car
you guys
wash we
like
did.
the- That's Jim and Sherry. Look at Jim.
Aw,
Jimbo.
look at us,
Oh,
we're
early
babies.
days.
Oh my
God,
gosh.
I was so skinny.
I know. What happened to us?
That's what
Oh, my gosh.
Great
Wow.
pictures.
Oh, those are great.
Ago, and of course,
Oh,
George.
there's
Oh,
Rod
Rod.
Van Beek and Joe Hardy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And Rod would do worship whenever Jim was traveling with Barron Cross.
Yeah.
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 And he would also
Hi,
play.
Jim.
He'd also play on the worship team. Also, I think.
Yes.
Even when Jim was there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was kind of like co-leading with me, and
Right.
he sang and played on both Sanctuary worship
Yeah.
records. And, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Tom Tobin is here from Redondo Beach, California.
Redondo,
Ooh.
our neighborhood.
Yay.
We used to live there.
We
Yeah.
did.
We all did, yes.
Yeah.
2420 Rockefeller Lane. Oh, did I just say that on the air?
Yeah. Sanctuary house.
Is it even the same over there anymore?
Yeah, the house is still the same.
Is it?
I drove by it last year sometime. I just drove by it just to see. Yeah, still looks the same.
Yeah.
Except the house next door is a big, huge.
No, it was big then too. They tore down the
Oh, they
little
tore
one.
down the little one. Yeah, where Doug and all them used to live. Yeah.
Well, nothing stays the same, does it?
No.
No.
No, it
And
doesn't.
landmarks all change.
Yes. Austin is here this morning, good friend of the ministry, and he hasn't been to church for a while. Austin, come on.
Smack 'em.
Have a great day. There's
Oh my
me,
gosh.
Nicole.
That's so
Wow.
funny.
Oh, there's Nicole, and there's
Yeah.
Pastor Bob.
Oh,
Chris used to call her Nicholi, right?
Nacholi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally is, right.
There's a good
Matt.
friend, Matt Bowler, Match,
Match.
who is an actor now. There's Chris Dorman. We're gonna,
Chris Dorman, look at you, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's hilarious.
yes,
Wow.
that's great picture. And look at
Oh my gosh, that's going
I know
way
what that-
back.
The Montana trip.
That was the Montana trip. Yep.
Yep.
I'm so
We're-
blind. I thought that was the beach.
Remember we had in the very back, you know, because two of us was driving the front seat, or it'd be in the front, two front seats, and then we
Yeah.
had that like bed set up in the back so people could, so one of us could sleep in the back. Oh man, that was so uncomfortable.
Oh, dude, that was the,
Oh my gosh.
and then Bob, and I always like Bob. Bob's like, I can't ride back there because I get car sick. Right. Right. This car sick thing. I get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That was the front, Jim. That was the trip where we saw the cows getting branded.
It's seared into my memory.
Remember?
Yeah, well, see, Glenn and I, we're from we're city folk, right? And we go up there, and Bob's mom and dad were just like, "Do you guys want to see cows get branded?" And Glenn and I were like, "Sure, whatever that is, sure, we'll go and see it." And it was very dramatic. They take that thing and
For
they stick
you
it
or
on
for the cow?
Remember,
the
I don't
cow.
know
The
whose-
cow
I don't
goes
know
like this.
Whose farm was that? Because then remember later on we had dinner, and then on our plate was this huge steak and fresh milk from the cows.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great memories. Speaking of great memories, we want to bring Chris Keene on with us. And there he is.
Chris.
Hello. Merry Christmas.
Morning.
Merry Christmas.
Morning, Chris.
So, Chris, you were also at Sanctuary pretty much from the very beginning. Yeah.
First service in South Bay, yeah.
Yes.
You were?
Long time ago.
Yeah.
And Chris, if you don't know, Glenn, he designed and did the special effects makeup for the first two Vengeance albums.
Yep.
Yep.
He's the one that made my hand look, like, yeah, right.
Now a little disclaimer. I had a team that worked on the second one. Because on the second one, there were actually 3 makeup artists that worked on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, and Chris, you pulled off a production at Sanctuary at Easter times that was just incredible. Live cross, Christ on the cross, all the special effects.
Yep.
It feels like yesterday. I have it ingrained in my head. Such a great thing. Yeah.
And
That was
and
fun.
that carried over. So the cross, when Franco would do the cross for the Easter thing, well, that carried over into our Vengeance shows, and we would do that whole
Yeah.
thing on stage,
On stage. Yeah.
with the cross, and we did it. I don't know, maybe for the first 6 shows or something like that. Then it got to be a little too much. We're like, we're done with that.
But that was,
There's Chris.
Look at that.
Yeah, they're showing pictures from recent productions that we've been working on. So
That's
now,
cool.
Chris, tell us what you do now, because I think people would be interested here.
I'm a theater arts professor at Azusa Pacific University
Yeah.
out here in California. And the shot that's up on the screen right now is from Music Man, which we just did this fall.
Yeah.
So
I did a production of the Music Man. Fun.
Oh, yes, we got trouble right here in River City with the
That's right.
P. That rhymes with P. That stands for pool, right? Music Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. There were bells on a hill, but I couldn't hear them ringing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gary, Indiana.
Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
Lots of good
oh,
music.
they're all in my brain. Oh, this is another shot that I put in. That's literally a shot. If you see the guy with the flame coming out of the end of his barrel, that's me doing a
Oh, wow.
Veterans Day parade. So
Yeah.
Which
Fair.
we saw every year.
Yeah, we would see you do that at the
in Torrance,
in Torrance. Yeah.
yeah, always did that.
Awesome. So, Chris, you've done a lot of the reenactments, haven't you? That's been a thing for you. Yeah.
That's my nerdy little hobby for the weekends. I like to go and live in a different century and, put the cell phone away and
Yes.
cook over a fire and all that. So, yeah.
That's cool.
And I see you representing Kansas City in the background there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, got the
Chiefs,
shirt
go
on.
Chiefs.
Yeah,
Oh, got it going.
we got Chiefs game today later. We got,
Yep.
drinking my tea and my Chiefs cup. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
So,
He's a fan.
just a quick question: who here started at Whittier Sanctuary?
I did.
I did. Yeah, I didn't start right away. I think I came in about July. I don't know when it started there. In '85, I don't know what month it was, but we came in July.
I think we started in May or June. So you were.
Oh, so it was pretty
yeah.
close. Yeah. That was Brett Keys that told me about it. He goes, "Oh, we got to go check out this church. It's all a bunch of long hairs."
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. What was the band name again that he was in?
Battle Cry,
Battle Cry.
Oh, that's right.
which Dave Chumchall, who was on our worship team, was the singer of.
And I did his wedding.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did Brett's wedding. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
And Glenn and Sherry, I did your wedding
Yes, you
yeah,
did.
yes, you did.
a long time ago.
A
And
very long time ago.
just a
Yeah.
few weeks ago, I had the privilege of doing your son's wedding, Joey.
Yeah.
Joey's wedding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did 2 generations, and also had the privilege of dedicating Joey when he was a baby and baptizing him as an adult. So
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah.
such a privilege to be
Full
involved.
circle, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, gonna make me cry again.
I know. Well, we have one more friend that we want to invite on here, Chris Dorman. Most of you know
Chris.
one of the podcasters here at Sanctuary. Good morning, Chris. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm the newbie here, though. You guys were all there. I didn't first show up to Sanctuary till '87.
Yes.
So I'm the kid on the block. I'm
Yeah.
the young one.
Oh, only 1 year behind me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's right. So, Chris, those were really great times, and
Yeah.
I just have such good memories. I remember when you first came to the church. I remember it very well. Started coming to classes. You just really dug in, and then became an integral part of what was going on Sanctuary. Really, really great beginnings. Really good days, weren't they?
Yeah, very much so. I think all of us can say that it really changed all of our lives in very
Yes.
positive ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're in Denver now.
I am.
So tell us how you got from California to Denver.
You and Jim actually asked me to go. I don't know if you remember this, Jim, but you were on tour. You were with Barron Cross, and you had come through Denver, and a Bible study had started here. There was a Sanctuary Bible study here. People that were looking for a pastor.
Yes.
And I was Pastor Bob had been talking to me for a couple of years about moving either to New Mexico or somewhere else to try and spread the gospel.
Yeah.
And I ended up, I ended up here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you've enjoyed living in Colorado, haven't you?
Oh, very much so. Yes, it's wonderful. I love it here. Yeah.
Yes. So, Chris, you and Don Waite have been doing a fantastic podcast called So What? You want to tell us a little bit about the podcast? There are a lot of them online that people can watch, and where, if they've never watched them, where's a good place to jump in and get started? And
Sure.
For a minute.
So the podcast started in October of 2015, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
And I did the first couple of years without Dawn. And then in 7 years ago, I was doing a podcast series. Actually, Todd in the discipleship class is going to be doing a series on spiritual gifts. I was doing a podcast series on the motivational gifts out of the book of Romans. And I got to the gift of teaching, and I thought it'd be kind of odd for someone who has the gift of teaching to just teach that by himself. So I invited Don to join me. and he kind of never left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have been a really good team, haven't you?
We really have been. It's great to have a second voice. The podcast, for those who've never seen it, it's really about theology. Can be it can make it heady. You can make it just about knowing more than other people, and it's really when I was preaching, I would always start with theology, and then the application would be, okay, so I would go, okay, everybody, what am I going to say now? And then the congregation would go, so what? What does it matter? Because if it doesn't impact the life, the heart, your witness, what good is it, right? Because knowledge puffeth up, but love buildeth up. And so that's what it is. It's trying to make theology practical. How does it impact my life for the kingdom of God?
And you guys have done a fantastic job with it. It's been so good. And I don't think I missed a show. It's been really good. And I think, and you've had some very dedicated watchers as well.
We have.
But Don moved there when you moved to Denver, and we're very much a part of that. And yeah, it's we're all just kind of spread out now, aren't we?
We are. Well, you guys aren't.
4 of
Well,
us.
Chris is still in California, but the rest of you are all now back in Nashville. So
Yes. Well, and we keep trying to talk the Chris's into moving here. We'd love to have them part of things here.
would love to be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would
Second
be
that right now.
that'd be a dream.
I would love it.
Be a dream. Yes,
It is my prayer.
absolutely. Well, you guys, we had some great pictures going there. John, if we have some more, we can talk about them too. Chris, did you see the picture we showed of you from the old days?
I did. I couldn't believe it. Everybody else was, once Pastor Bob turned me on to studying the scriptures, I kind of just buried my head in the Bible, and everyone else was having a really, really good time and very social and friendly. And I just became really, really bookish and just kind of dived into the Word of God. And Pastor Bob, you really encouraged me to use that and grow and to teach and to preach and all that stuff. And so I didn't know that there were actually any pictures of me from back in the day. So I was really surprised and mortified to see it.
Oh, that's a picture right there.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's,
Way back.
Is that Gardena?
Yeah, Steve
Our
Mangaro.
very-
Steve Mangaro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, that's at
Wow.
Christ Chapel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Danny Zabrak in the back there?
Yeah,
It looks like it, yeah.
Oh my
that's Zabrak.
gosh.
Yeah.
There are 2 people that I see there that have gone on to be with the Lord. Glenn, there you go. Yeah.
So Steve Mangaro passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And who else,
friends,
Pastor?
when I started coming in '87, there was no room there in between people. It was completely packed, and we probably violated every fire code because we set up folding chairs in the aisles. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Folding chairs.
People would
in
just sit on the
aisles. I mean,
floor.
oh my gosh, it was crazy.
Yeah. And Chris Keen, that was the church that you came to as well when you first started coming.
Well, actually, no, there was one church prior to that.
That's
Yeah.
Whittier.
Okay.
That I forget where that one was. It was
It
by
was
an
on
apartment
Prairie.
building.
It was
Yeah, it
on
was by an
Prairie.
apartment building. And I remember we got kicked out because of the worship was too loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was at the that place right there on the beach.
No,
No.
that was
No, this-
after.
That
Oh,
was,
that was after that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
that-
was at the one that was on Prairie.
Yeah.
At,
The-
like
Prairie
by,
and what?
just past 182nd, between 182nd and
And
Artesia.
Artesia, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really?
That was the
'Cause I
first
grew
place
up-
I
I was
ever
born-
went.
I
That
was-
was when it first started.
I grew
So
up
is
at
that-
Prairie 182nd. Wow.
Is that Reese Van Ash right there in that picture?
It looks
Is
like
it?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
And there's
Oh my
Keith
gosh,
Allison.
it is.
Keith
And
Glenn,
is
is that you in the red shirt? I can't
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that Keith in yellow?
Yeah, it's
looks
Keith.
like it.
Yeah, that's Keith.
It looks like Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of the church? What was the name of the a hall over there in Hermosa Beach we went to afterwards?
Clark
Yeah,
Stadium.
yeah.
Clark Stadium.
Clark Stadium.
Yeah, we used to do Christmas parties there too. I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sock. Do we have a sock off there?
We had a sock
Yeah,
hop.
they had the sock
And
hop.
El Segundo too. We had one in
Yeah.
El Segundo.
Oh, wow.
Also the air. Remember the air band contest or the
Oh,
whatever?
God.
Yeah.
So talk about that, Glenn. That was fun.
which one? The air band contest?
Those
Oh.
were so fun.
Oh my gosh.
I won.
I'm trying to remember. The funniest one was I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was Mike Betts, Larry Farkas,
The Chicken Supremes.
The Chicken Supremes.
Mm.
Oh
Oh,
man.
now I want a Chicken Supreme.
And they all dressed up like girls, and they were doing Diana Ross Supremes "Stop in the Name of Love." I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember
Yeah.
That
that.
was funny.
Oh my gosh, it was so.
We have photos
I
of
have
that.
pictures from that.
I have pictures of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you remember, all of you guys, do you remember the time when I think some of you were in the group that Roger Dale Martin sang on, and it's called "If Your Hair's Too Long, There's Sin in Your Heart."
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We all are.
Yeah.
Get it
Better
cut
cut your
today.
hair and make a new start.
Art.
Get it cut today and make a new start. Don't live a life of sin.
That's right.
and regret.
Totally forgot about
Tangled mess upon your head.
that. And we also we had another, it was me, Jimbo, and Mike Betts, and we went over to Ken Roberts and recorded
Oh yeah,
the
Bob.
Righteous Rapper. The Righteous Rapper.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it called? The song. It was about Pastor Bob.
Wasn't Pastor
Yeah.
Bob rap?
Was it?
or-
Oh, was it Pastor Bob?
Something like
Yeah.
that.
I wish we had a tape of that. I don't have a tape of that.
Probably
Yeah.
good we don't.
Yeah. Bob, you don't have a tape. Do you have a recording of that? Bob? Do you have
I don't know. I have a go through my memo box and see.
yeah.
We have a lot of
Remember
stuff we
one
need to go through.
and
We
then
probably have a lot of stuff.
Another fun thing that Bob did was Pastor Bob Beeman Does Vengeance.
I have that cassette still. Yes.
Oh,
Do
do
you?
you
On
really?
the piano?
Oh,
I do
God.
indeed.
It's all piano. It's great. It's awesome.
I don't remember what songs, but I did them classical style.
Yes,
Yeah.
classical style Vengeance of White Throne and one other song I think it was.
Yes,
It was awesome.
that's a good time. That's a good
yeah.
time. Yeah, I love that. And one of the other things that stands out in those days was, we didn't know what we were doing. I think the first worship team, Michael Sweet led the first worship, the very
Right.
first. And then we tried to put something together. And Glenn, you might remember, I think we had more than one drum set, a bunch of guitars.
We had
Yeah.
we
Two
had
drums.
so there was 2 drummers, there was 2 bass players and 4 guitar players, all of us trying to compete with each other on stage, trying to do heavy metal worship. It was quite a fiasco in the beginning, though.
And that was in Clark Stadium.
Yeah.
It's an echo chamber.
I don't know who the other.
No, that wasn't
No,
there.
no, that was
That was at the very first church, the one on Prairie.
the one on Prairie,
Oh,
and that was
That was, yeah, I remember that.
I don't know who was playing bass. I think it was Derry was one of the bass players, and
Gary Shishido.
Eric Shishido.
yes.
He's the guy that invited me to Sanctuary.
Yes.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I worked
Really?
with him at the record store. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Licorice Pizza. Was
no,
it
this was
No.
Music
Music
Plus.
Plus.
Music
Oh,
Plus,
Music
that's
Plus.
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I miss going into a music store and be able to, thumb through records and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. That's
oh, geez,
that's
they don't.
the Tower
There's no
Records.
such thing anymore.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now they're all like small
Retro
little,
records.
retro records, small little shops that do the records and stuff. So
Yes. So
And it's
Tiffany
8 tracks.
is here. Tiffany is one of the teachers for
Hi,
Sanctuary
Tiffany.
coming up. We like Tiffany.
hey,
We love-
Tiffany.
So, so guys, is Steve Casto here? I'm not sure if he was able to join us or not. And John, if you could just send me a text, let me know. But so you guys, let's go back to that first worship once again. We tried doing songs that were popular. Do you remember we did Jesus is God?
Yes.
And to what song was it? I can't remember now.
I wonder
Yeah.
if that might have been an
Was it
original.
a Ronnie James Dio song?
Oh yes, that was it. I'm trying to remember the Dio song. That was shoot. I can't remember the Dio song, but it was a Dio song,
Was
and
it?
we changed the lyrics to it.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which song it was. It was one of the songs off his first record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well-
we did that, and then we did the, what's the other one, Jim, that we did? Was I think it was a Doobie Brothers song.
Oh,
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to music.
Listen to music.
Yeah, listen to
Maybe-
yeah.
I always enjoyed taking secular songs, and I still do it, even for some of the gatherings, and change the lyrics around, and or just keep the lyrics the way they are, and
Yeah.
like we did Fleetwood Mac, "Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow." We did "Listen to the Music." We did a Beatles song, Bob. "All You Need Is Love." Is that what? And
All you need is love.
we needed to have Daniel on the trumpet doing that. So
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the hymns were bar songs
Yeah.
that the lyrics were changed.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize those sacred hymns were bar songs at one time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was good.
Chris Keene, what was it like to go from Sanctuary to being a college professor with real people who weren't metalheads?
Well, I still get a lot of weird comments, particularly when they come in my office and look at, because I have a picture of Pastor Bob of you and I at Cornerstone up here,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I have my I have the two Vengeance albums behind me on the wall, so I get a lot of questions about those things. But surprisingly, most of the students that the first thing they want to do is they want, well, what were the bands like? And so I play them some of the bands, and a lot of them have playlists with Sanctuary tunes on them now. So
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And they're probably just a little surprised. Yeah.
I don't know. We got a pretty weird department in the theater, so it's not unheard of.
Yeah. That's awesome. So another thing I remember was the Sunday that we presented Todd Bowe with a very special cap. Do you guys remember that? Todd, you were the only one on our staff, I think, that had short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gave you a hat that had a ponytail on it. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I do remember that, and I think I wore it on your 40th birthday celebration when we did your 40th birthday, which is
A couple weeks ago.
extremely memorable. Yeah, right. Not that long ago, Bob. And I wore it backwards because the ponytail was in the back of the hat, so I wore it backwards so the hair would come in the front like this, so I could take it and put it behind my ears.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, all the guys got me one of those, so I
yeah.
needed to kind of blend in a little bit. I was the short-haired guy in the group.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
And now me and Todd switched, and now I'm the short hair guy, and Todd's the
Yeah.
long hair guy.
Yeah. So I remember, was that the time we had Larry Norman for my birthday?
Yeah, that he was our guest on your well, we had all the elders and associate pastors, me and Glenn and everybody else. We were planning to what we would do for your 40th birthday, and oh man, and Larry Norman just happened to be there that day,
Yeah.
and I remember being up front and looking down, and Larry Norman sitting next to you, and it's like they have no idea what's about to happen. Lights go down. Dave Chubchall starts playing this death dirge, and and we got up and made this announcement of the passing of our pastor. And the elders came down with candles or something like
Yes,
Yeah.
candles.
And
that. And
I
and
have something
remember
from that
Larry
day. Give me a
Norman-
minute.
What's that? Larry Norman leans over and says, "Bob, what the heck's going on here?" And Bob's like, "I have no idea."
And I said, but I think it's my birthday. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The crazy people have taken over.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we broke into the Beatles, the Major Birthday.
So
Uh-oh.
sorry about that.
Uh-oh.
So listen. So from that day, I was a huge Larry Norman fan,
Yeah.
and I was just totally fanboy.
Yeah.
And he kept looking over because I was singing really loud, and it was kind of embarrassing. But I did this. I asked him if he would autograph my Bible,
Oh, wow.
and he turned pink.
Oh.
I mean, he was embarrassed by it, but he did it.
Nice. That's
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And then at Audio Feed, I had Randy Stonehill. So,
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some classic Christian
Yes.
rock history right there.
Classic rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
very
looks,
cool.
it looks like Randy Stonehill's going to be with us this summer again.
Yeah, he is. He's going to be playing at the second Immortal Fest on a
very
on
cool.
Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So,
So
Cool.
you know, it's been kind of fun to see like Petra, some of the older bands that are still around, the Daniel Band. Who else have we had that's from the old days? But we've had a few that have just, and as good as ever. One of the most fun bands that we had this last year was Apologetics.
mhm.
You guys remember Apologetics? They would take popular songs and put Christian words to them.
No,
That's
I don't remember them.
Oh yeah, they were one of my favorites watching. You know, it's funny because during the festival this year, you know, I thought, you know, gosh, you know, they're playing a bunch of secular music up there, you know, and you know, I was like, gosh, did Steve get like a token secular band to come, a secular cover band to come and play at Immortal Fest? And it's like they're playing all these great songs, and then I started listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
those aren't the lyrics to Heaven and Hell or whatever.
Totally.
And
And
oh, they're a great band, and they're really great guys too. A lot of
Yeah.
fun.
did they,
As a newbie Christian, I think the first concert I went to was at Calvary Costa Mesa.
yeah.
This would have been early 1984.
Okay.
Was Undercover,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
and I think there's the Newsboys. I think was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember when Chuck Smith used to have them over there in Calvary Chapel, over there in Costa Mesa. He used to have those Saturday night concerts where he did.
Yeah. So good.
Glenn, I was there during that time.
Oh,
And
were you
I was
really?
at that look. Yeah, I was at the look. I used to go there every single Saturday. I was there at that concert.
Oh,
I
really?
think it was
Awesome.
Daryl Mansfield would set up the lineup.
Yes.
Oh,
And he
man.
was going to play,
Yeah.
and he would get up there himself and just nail the harmonica. Just
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And he put on that ape mask. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They
yes.
see that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you-
loved Undercover. They were great. Undercover's like first punk band I'd ever seen, and I'm like, man, these guys are awesome.
Yeah. And
In fact, we wore a
the-
T-shirt. I got a
the-
T-shirt that says "God Rules" on it.
Right.
That I
so
made.
the singer for Undercover, his brother comes to Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Pat,
Pat.
Yeah.
Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat. Yeah.
And hey, can I just say something about Undercover? We just saw, went to go see Undercover probably about 6 months ago. They played at a local club in Nashville. Just so good. And then also, Undercover was the very first Christian music, Christian band that I've ever seen or attended. I had a bunch of friends that talked me and hey, you want to go to this Christian rock night at Magic Mountain? And you know, and I was just like, yeah, you know, I didn't know what to think. I thought Christian music was going to be horrible. And I remember going to see them, and they were singing "There's More to Life Than Getting Stoned and Sitting in the Twilight Zone." Don't be
Oh,
like your
yeah.
God rules, God rules, God rules. But then they did something that was amazing. They went into this worship set where Joe Taylor was playing the keyboard and the singer, and I thought to myself, man, this is, God was all over it, you know. And I thought to myself, Lord, if I ever have an opportunity, it was way before I joined Barren Cross, but you know, like Joe Taylor would get out there with the Bible and
Yes.
he would read from the Word, and it would just be so, just like a, you know, a soothing balm that came over you, you know. And I just, you know, I told Lord, if I ever get an opportunity, you know, to play in Christian music, that I will do that. I'll bring the Bible out on stage and read directly from the scriptures. And later when I wound up joining Barren Cross, that's exactly, I was just following their template. you know, of what they were doing, and they were just so good and
Great band.
so effective, you know. So
So I used to do this talk on rock and roll music, mostly promoting Christian music, and Joey Ojo Taylor used to travel with me and give his testimony and all of that. And then, and like Glenn said, you know, his brother, Pat, who had a band called Nobody Special.
Right.
oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, his
I didn't know I didn't know that was his band.
yeah, Pat
Yeah.
Nobody. That's
Yeah, I didn't know that.
stage name, Pat Nobody. But he's here with us quite a bit, and
Yeah.
great part of
oh
the.
yeah, and he looks just like Ojo Taylor too. You could tell they're brothers.
Oh yeah, you can.
My granddaughter just got here. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I
Love you, Chris.
I remember you know, speaking of early days of bands, I remember going, you know, or playing and being in the clubs when Stryper was still Rock's Regime
Yeah.
back in the day, you know, before they were really a Christian band. But I got a funny story about Stryper. So I was in this band. I was a pretty new Christian. So this would have been, you know, late '83, early '84. And I was in this band called St. James, which was not a Christian band, but me and the singer were Christian, both pretty new Christians. And we were holding auditions because we had to just let go of our guitar player. So we're holding auditions for guitar players. And so I guess this was about the same time that Oz had left Stryper for a little while. And they were looking for other guitar players. So we were auditioning guitar players. We had this guy come in with this crazy blonde hair. He had I said, "Oh, are you?" Because I saw this Jesus First button, like a little button on his guitar strap. I said, "Oh, are you a Christian?" He goes, and he talked like so he goes, "No, man." He goes, "I had to go to this audition." He goes, and you know, they wanted to give me the job, but I didn't want to do it because they wanted me to paint my guitars and my amps all yellow and black. And I go, "Oh, Stryper." Well, that guy, his name was Bruce Johansson, and he later on changed his name to CC DeVille from Poison. So he was our
Yeah.
player.
Wow.
He's not a bass player. Is he? Wait, he
No,
was
this
trying
is
out
when
guitar?
Oz left. He's a guitar
Oh,
player.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so this is early. Oz left for a little while, and they had another guitar player for a short time, and then Oz came back. So, but that was
Every rose has its thorn.
yeah. So he was he went to audition, but he didn't want to change his guitars and stuff to yellow and black.
Yeah.
It's funny. Is just a little bit about Stripers. I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 years ago, they came out. Do you guys remember they came out with that little Christmas EP
Yes.
that they put
Oh
out?
yeah.
And I will never forget. I think one of their best songs they've ever done is "He's the Reason for the Season."
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was a good song.
Oh man, what a great song. And you know, it almost had a worship anthem-y feel to it. And I, you know, I always remember that song as, you know, because it came out during Christmas and how special that whole occasion was in that time, in that era of you know, we are metal, we are family. But it was so good to hear those lyrics and the spirit behind, you know, the way they were playing. And you know, we should be very grateful for Stryper and all the. You know,
Yeah.
I really think that if it really wasn't for them, that we probably wouldn't all be sitting here right now. And
Yeah.
you know, that's a testimony to what God was doing in the moment back then, which was creating revival among the heavy metal family. And it was just such an awesome time. I remember when they played at Calvary Chapel Downey.
Yes.
And they had 4,000 people that showed up to see them, and they had to play 2 shows. Remember that? And that was just a phenomenon in itself. And
And I also remember when Barron Cross played Calvary Chapel down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys packed it out too.
Yeah, and you know who else was really instrumental in helping Barron Cross was Daryl Mansfield.
Yes.
We opened up for Daryl Mansfield, and then after we did it, we opened for them once, and then we were kind of like their opening band for a lot of years over there. And so, you know, we got to know Daryl and Jeff and the whole band, and what a wonderful group of guys, you know, that basically kind of took us under their wing.
Yeah.
They were the older ones, and they were the older ones. That's
Jim's mic, mic went out.
Yeah, you're sounding a little scratchy.
Yeah.
Well,
Started moving your hands, the mic went out.
great memories. And
Yeah.
and Glenn, one other thing that I remember, you know, we used to have special music for Sanctuary. We'd always have the bands playing. I remember two things. One was POD played when they were called Payable on Death, and
They were just kids too then.
yeah, it was one of their very first concerts.
Yeah.
Jim took me aside, and he said, "You really need to screen the bands better than this." It wasn't their best concert, yeah. And who knew that they would go on and POD be so successful? But one of the other times that I remember so well was when Vengeance played for the service. And I remember that we had to make a new rule at Sanctuary that there would be no stage diving from the pulpit.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Do you remember when Roger Dale Martin did his whiteboard
Yeah.
Oh.
on how to mosh
How to
safely?
mosh.
Gosh,
How to
yeah.
mosh safely, because nobody knew how to do it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Oh my
He also
gosh.
did he also do things like the earring thing, you know, about wearing earrings and oh yeah, Roger was funny. He was hilarious. He's such a character.
yeah.
You know, speaking of Striper, you know, because I always go back to this when I was again a new Christian and I was looking for music. I went into our local store, which is the Carpenter Music Store.
I remember.
yeah.
And Bruce Adolph, who was running the store.
Yes.
And I went in there and I go, hey, I'm a new Christian, and I'm like, you know, I'm used to a certain level kind of sound of music and stuff, you know, that I like and whatnot. And I said, what do you got? You know, and he's like presenting all this stuff for me, you know, so like Randy Stonehill and Sweet Comfort Band. I'm thinking, Petra. And I was like, you know, do you got anything like heavier? And he's like, not really. There's nothing, you know, there was nothing really available at that time. And then I remember I came in one time and he goes, hey, I got a new band that you got to hear. And he put the record on and it was Striper. I go, oh, this sounds great. I go, who's this? And I looked at it, I go, oh, this is Rock's Regime. But the level, you know, the Sonics and everything in their first record, I was like, oh, okay, now this is more like it. You know what I mean? So I remember that very day when I went in there and heard that for the first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it was because there really wasn't a whole lot out, you know, back then.
Yes.
You know, as far as metal or hard rock stuff, you know.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, we have a lot of great memories, a lot to be thankful for. And you know, it feels like in some ways we've been doing this for so long, and in some ways that we're just getting started. And I think of all the things that we've done correctly and incorrectly, we've learned from our mistakes, hopefully. And I think we're more prepared now to present the gospel to a lost and dying world than we've ever been. And I just want to say to all of you, I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful that you're still there, still involved with preaching the gospel, still involved with the mission of Sanctuary, because we're not done yet. And we got some great things to announce for this next year in the way of new podcasts and new teaching and festivals and all kinds of really great things. But folks, it comes down to you, and we're thankful for you today. We're thankful that we are metal, we are family, and that you're family. And that means the world to all of us. And it has been a pleasure to serve you the last 40 years. We're looking forward to 40 more years to come. And are you guys ready for that? 40 more years?
I got my cane ready.
I'll be 112, but
I'll have to pop my teeth in
There we
before we
go.
start.
Oh my gosh, you poor guy.
You know, Bob, when you said we made a lot of mistakes, Sanctuary was in the beginning was like this gigantic youth group.
Yeah.
yes.
It really was, you know,
We were very young.
very young. Yeah.
Yeah, and isn't it really fun to see the next generation coming in? Well, it's honestly the third generation coming in.
Yeah.
But Glenn and Sherry, your both of your sons are involved. Joey, I remember the day Joey was born.
So do I.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the drummers for the worship team. His wife is one of the singers.
Yep.
And Sherry, it must be awesome to stand on the stage with your daughter-in-law singing and your husband and your son playing. And what a great tradition that we've had. And
It's a gift. It's definitely I mean, I love singing with Crystal. I love it. And I mean, I'm so used to Joey playing drums, he plays all the time.
On the drum, on everything.
On everything still.
yeah. Okay. On his chest especially. He's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm constantly Joey, stop, Joey, stop, Joey.
Can
Stop,
I
Joey.
change the subject real quick?
Yes.
But I'm telling you, Sherry, we got to get this. I remember having one when I was a kid. That tree that's behind Jimbo
the twisting
is
tree.
turning.
It is true.
Is it kind of making you get?
No, I had one when I was a kid. I think, I love that. That's awesome. Sorry,
Is it giving you vertigo?
I totally changed it. So totally went off track right there.
Did you just notice it was moving?
Well, folks, again, thank you for joining us. We are out of time, but it's been great to reminisce. We'll do this again. I think this needs to be a holiday tradition for us, and I'd love for us to do that. All the people on the screen right now are people that I dearly, dearly love.
We love you.
Love you.
Grateful for you, Bob. Very thankful.
Absolutely.
And we're excited to continue as God gives us more and more and more favor. And we have a mission. Well, like we say, we're on a mission from God, and we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So, folks, again, thank you for joining us. And next week, I'm going to do a talk about my health change, and I want to encourage you with that. So many are unhealthy right now, and I'd like to begin the new year in health. And Chris is going to be from Chris Cooking Nashville. Chris will be here with me, and we've got a lot of things to share. I have a lot of things to share. I haven't told my story yet. I've waited to do it. And now 140 pounds later, and healing from so many things, and more energy than I've had in 35 years. I'm excited to share it with you. So that's next week. Folks, don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.